I've been getting lately, I've been getting these calls, and they're kind of harassing. They want me to confirm who I am, they won't tell me who they are. Common tactic for bill collectors. I've worked in enough call centers, but it's also a common tactic for scammers. And it's a tactic that the same scammers have used on me so many times, and I refuse to give them my information. So, because I've told them to take me off the list so many times. It's a scam where they try to get your social security number so that, and it's under the guise of it being student loan forgiveness. It's not student loan forgiveness. And it's a bit of a trial, because they keep on contacting me. And I keep on telling them, no, stop. And to lose this number, I will not confirm that I am me. And in fact, I've told them that I'm not me at times. All I have to do is be the person who picks up the phone and tell them to take it off the list. And then they are obligated to do so. They're not a bill collector. They're not. I mean, I checked on my student loans. Of course, they're saying that it's about student loans. Gotten that far in there. Without telling them who I am. And it's the same people who have been harassing me for about 2 years now. Trying to get my social security number and all that, for their stupid quasi-student loan forgiveness program. The thing of it is that student loan forgiveness isn't actually done that way, and it takes apparently like 10 to 20 years to even get it. You have to be on the program consistently, and all this in order to get it. There's like hoops you have to jump through. It's not an instant thing. And these people are just terrible. They just take advantage of the fact that there are so many people with loans on them that they shouldn't have. They take advantage of people like me, who got saddled with loans that we didn't even sign up for. But because the loan companies don't really care, the burden is put on us to prove it. And since the schools put through the paperwork and they have the big lawyers, we're kind of stuck with it. There's no proof that I think could even make them take it off. Because, then they would argue that a bunch of people, and they probably would just claim that they didn't do this, even though they did, but, then people like me who really didn't are kind of stuck. And we're kind of trapped with this stuff that we didn't even do or sign up for. And that really sucks. It sucks balls. But there's this company that keeps on harassing me. They won't leave me alone. And I've told them so many times to take me off the list, and they won't. I get constant calls from different subsidiaries for them. Like, they'll claim to be there's 10 different companies. I've blocked probably over 100 numbers from them, over the past 2 years. They will just present themselves differently, and I've gotten to the point where I'm just stop and leave me alone. I'm lose my number. Everything to do with you, just lose my number. Take this off your cell phone list. Take this off all of your lists. I want nothing to do with you. You're a scam. And no matter what I say, they won't do it. I just keep on getting calls. And I've literally been harassed for years. And of course, if you say, look, this is a scam, it's been harassing me for years, lose my number. This last one, whenever I actually got a person this last time, because it's not always even a person. Sometimes it's just a machine. And they said, oh, we're not a scam. And now it's they're emboldened, and they've just decided that they're going to call me several times a day now, which is basically what I go through. Several times a day. And my number hasn't changed. I'm not even sure it would help. So, yeah. And then I had to make sure that, the company that has my student loans, that they had the right information, because apparently they had some changes to their system, and she confirmed that my information was good and all that. My phone number apparently fell out of it, so we had to correct that. It's the same. It's been the same for years. We're good. So anyway, these other people have basically been harassing me. They smelled blood, and it's just they don't seem to get the picture after years of this. Just leave me alone. I'm never consenting to your program. It's not even a real program. And it's all they do is bug you more. And I just kind of want to tell them to go screw themselves at this point. Not that I didn't want to do that to begin with, but it's ridiculous. And they just don't want to take them. And that's the only answer they're getting from me. No, leave me alone. And they refuse. I mean, that's harassment. So anyway, I checked on all my stuff, and it's good. Nothing fell into deferment. Nothing fell into default. I do have to take another deferment out, though, because obviously, while I don't have a job, I can't pay it. And that's pretty much where it's at. So unless somebody is harassing me about my ex-husband stuff now, which can happen, by the way, it's not strictly speaking legal, but it's also not strictly speaking illegal either. So some companies seem to take that as a green light. So there's actually cases where that has happened to people. And they've been told, leave them alone. This isn't even the person who took out the loan. So anyway, yeah. There's this company out there that continuously says, if you give us your information, we will get you student loan forgiveness. And this all started whenever I tried to sign up for the class action against one of the schools I'd gone to, because they'd done these things to me. And they'd signed me up for loans, they'd taken out more money than they were supposed to, a bunch of stuff. And what ended up happening was I didn't have time to, check the link out, and I didn't really think about it. So I clicked it, and then and a lawyer was supposed to call me. What ended up happening was these people started calling me, and you have to be very careful what you click on the internet. So I've basically dealt with this now for 2 years. Two fucking years. Because someone just has no conscience. They don't care that they're scamming people who have already been through hell and just want loans they never okayed off of their stuff. They don't want to have to pay back something that was done in fraud. These schools were caught committing fraud, and you're still on the hook for this. There is no, fix for us. And we're stuck with this. So while I'm looking for ways to sell my artwork and break into a market that actually likes it, and doesn't go, oh wow, this is not a line on a canvas. Seriously. First Fridays is a trip. I saw someone sell a painting that was maybe this big, as big as my face. All it was a paint, a solid background with a logo on it. All she'd done was a single brush stroke thing. sold that for $20. They won't even buy, like, let me unplug this. They won't go for stuff like this, you know, or this, you know, or any of the other stuff that's, like, they don't want, or that had time in it. You're fine. You just ate. It's almost lunchtime. If it's almost lunchtime, I won't do it, because it's almost lunchtime. Then, like, it kind of messes up his whole day. So anyway, they scam people and take advantage of people who have already been screwed by a system that doesn't care that we've been screwed. And, like, all these companies, they don't care. They just want their money. They don't care who they're taking it from. They don't care if it's the person who legitimately signed up to owe this to them. Like, because someone basically signed up with our names and put us on the hook for this. That's how it goes. That's how that works. Because, and that's insane. And that's not fair. And it fucks you up. It fucks up your finances. Just everything. It's, what was it my mom used to say? Life isn't fair. Well, you know what? That's dishonest business. That's bad business. I can't, like, the second time, they actually just refused. They basically did something that caused what eventually happened, and so, like, put me through the cracks on purpose, so that I would basically be on the hook for money I didn't even get to, like, take the classes to use. So I was enrolled, and all this money was taken out, and, you know, but I only got to go to, like, the preliminary classes to make sure that I had, you know, math skills and stuff. I didn't actually get to do any of the art classes or any of the digital design or anything like that. I didn't get to do any of that because they screwed me. And then they screwed me some more. And then they were like, oh, well, you no longer go here anymore because we decided. And this is insane. Like, I did my classwork, and then just, I mean, I had actually pretty good grades. I can't go back to school. I just can't. I mean, I already have the college my grandmother made me go to at 18 that I didn't even want to go. Of course, naturally, she wasn't paying for it. I'm still on the hook for that. I dropped out. I was on way too much medication to even function, let alone be going to college. I don't even remember most of it. And I've never been a party person. I don't remember it, not because I was at parties, but because I was on so much medication. It's impossible for me to remember that. And then there was, I dropped out of that probably within, like, 6 months. I think it was only supposed to be, like, a couple-year program or something, and I was dropped out within 6 months. So, I mean, I can't even say that, yeah, no. Like, I couldn't even function, let alone make that decision. And my grandmother was, like, threatening me to go. She wanted me to go to that school for that thing, and I didn't want to. So, you know, held the dog's life above my head. Yeah, my grandmother was pure evil. I can't stand people that harm animals. And my grandmother is probably a big reason why I have a particularly bad pet peeve about that, because she used to threaten the dog to get me to do what she wanted. And she knew how important that dog was to me. So there was that. I can't even count the number of times people had known that that I was doing something under duress and just didn't care. So there was that. And then there was the time that I went on my own because I wanted to learn the stuff to make video games. I wanted to do the digital design that goes with video games, and I wanted to take the classes so that I could even lead a team. This also, of course, meant that there were some classes in, there were supposed to be some classes in scripting and, the different stuff there, as part of the degree program. They completely screwed me. Just screwed me, admissions, didn't care, and I was supposed to be online so that it would make it easier for me to do what I needed to do, for everything else, and they just were a leech. They signed me up for a bunch of loans that I didn't okay, and then they, because the actual class wasn't actually supposed to be that much. What I'd actually signed up for wasn't that much. What they actually signed me up for was. And the ones that I signed for were, they were supposed to cover the classes, they were supposed to cover the amount for the programs that I needed, but what they actually did was a lot more, and it was, there were entire loans I had no idea where this even came from. And the school never accounted for why they needed that much money or anything, and naturally, I was still in my early 20s, so I didn't know how to. I was already getting screwed over in family court with my kids, and there was just so much going on, and now I have to deal with this horrible mess, and. I saw this post earlier, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Millennial starter kits. Millennial Monopoly. And I don't even identify as millennial. It actually annoys me that they call, 6 generations millennial, and it's actually more than that. It was, Millennial Monopoly. You start off with nothing. The board is on fire for some reason, and everything is your fault. Oh, sorry. You start off with nothing, everything is expensive. The board is on fire, and everything is your fault. That's about right. That's basically what it is. And then you've got the people that are like, oh my god, all these millennials, they actually want to get paid something that they can live on. You don't have to be a party person to have trouble living on $7 an hour. You can't live on $7 an hour. It's not doable unless you're living with 5 people in a 1-bedroom apartment. You can't do that. It's not feasible. Why a lot of younger people who actually have families that care about them still live at home. They still live with their parents because this isn't a living wage. Now they've raised it and it's kind of okay, but then also you still have nothing after bills that you can even save. They're supposed to raise it again, I guess, to sort of take it, because they've actually figured, so people actually sat down and figured out what would be a living wage, just for anyone, and they came up with $15 an hour. And there were people going, oh my god, all these other people aren't even making this. Well, maybe they should, because this is a living wage. You know, this is what you need to live. And you can sort of make it on less than that, but not much less. And it doesn't mean that it's easy either. You can't really save up for, it's hard to save any money. You still end up, needing more than one income in the household. Like, right now, things are actually pretty tight because Gina's the only one with a job right now. So, and I suck at selling my art. Let's just say that right now. I don't suck at doing art. I suck at selling it. I cannot market worth beans. That I'll admit. A lot of people actually do suck at marketing their work, though. So I guess I need to follow those leads. I may actually have time to follow them today. Somebody gave me some leads to follow for that. So I'm gonna have to do some of that today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's dark, so sorry. I could turn the light on, but I don't know. What are you doing? What? I love you too, Chris. Stop trying to listen. Nosy Rosie. Alright, I gotta go. It's about, I gotta go make his lunch. Yes, sandwich today? Yeah, let's just do sandwiches, or should I make soup? Could probably reheat some soup. Sandwich, soup, and sandwich? Probably. Anyway, thinking out loud. Yeah. This shit sucks. I mean, that's pretty much how I started. Hearing how everything was my fault, but, my grandmother had, stolen, anything that she could get her hands on. And there was just so much. And it sucked. It still sucks, actually. So, anyway, I need to go make food for Munchkin before he, dies of curiosity to know what I'm saying. And, then I got some stuff to do while he's playing and taking his nap. So, yeah. And then we got some stuff to do after his nap, so yeah. It's not quite as busy as yesterday, but it's still a busy day. Alright, well, I guess